What is up and welcome back, guys. If this is your first time watching, we are your Emerald Coast relocation team. We are going to be doing another tour video today, kind of helping you guys decide if Navarre is where you're looking at living, which neighborhood might be for you. So we're going to be driving around here. I'm going to try giving you my personal, my professional insight as I'm seeing these different things, because a lot of you initially when you come to us, you're like, hey, I'm looking at Pensacola. Hey, what about Gulf Breeze? And then you find about Navarre, you're like, wait a second, I think I really like this Navarre area. And there's a few things that we really want to point out. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video right here. And I'm going to be doing a little different. In the past, what I've done is pretty much just record on the road the entire time. This one, I'm going to do something different, where I'm going to record a little bit through here. I'm going to record through here a little bit, kind of show you this area, what it looks like. And then I'm going to take it back in front of the computer and expose you to a few of the neighborhoods and some statistics when we're talking about those price points, maybe the age of homes, where to really look if you're looking for a newer home as opposed to an older home. Kind of give you some insight on that back end a little bit. That way it's not just you guys watching me sitting here rant as I'm driving through all these different neighborhoods. So let's get started on the road and start showing you a few of these areas. The first one we're going to be checking out is Whispering Pines area. And I think I'm just going to drive through and just talk as much as possible, kind of tell you what I'm looking at. So let's go ahead and get on the road right now. All right, here we go. I've got to put the shades on just so I'm not getting blinded as I'm driving through here. But we're going to go ahead and get started. So as I mentioned, this is the Whispering Pines area. I picked a few neighborhoods that I really kind of wanted to show you guys. This area over here, the biggest reason I wanted to show you is many times you're like, hey, I'm seeing these newer houses in this area, but then I see right next to it is like a trailer home or something like that. And so what we're trying to do is expose you to, well, not necessarily the Whispering Pine area, but as I'm going back, is that there's a lot of these builders who come in here and they buy up these lots because these lots are larger, even though they might have, you know, a home that's super old or a trailer on it or something along those lines. And they'll build like 3 up to like maybe 6 houses all in a row, brand new houses. And I actually saw a few of them as I was driving over here into Whispering Pines. And that's what they'll do, and that's why you have these newer houses that are located in these different areas. It's a little mixed, but you can see this Whispering Pines area. This is a fantastic area. We've actually had a few of you guys who have really loved this area, just because the style of house that is over here. It's a little bit newer, as opposed to kind of, you know, more the central portion of Navarre that we're going to be talking about. But look at these just gorgeous ranches that we've got going on here. Some 3-car garages, which really isn't all that common in the Emerald Coast. We're talking about, but you got 3-car garages, 2-car garages, brick homes. We just sat down with one of you guys who said that you really do like how the newer houses do have this brick, where like where I came from, a lot of the houses were mainly siding, you know, where it's that pretty much the whole, you know, copy paste style of house with that siding. These homes, you can see a lot of them are pretty unique. They probably use a lot of the similar floor plans. Actually, when I'm looking at a lot of these houses, it kind of reminds me of Grand Point. I wouldn't doubt it if some of these builders were similar to the ones that are over in Grand Point, because some of these houses have a similar looking floor plan to what you kind of see over in Grand Point when we are talking about Gulf Breeze. Let's see, I wanted to kind of go up in here a little bit. I know eventually we're going to run into a dead end and then have to turn around, so I guess you'll be able to see those houses. So you can see the ones that we just looked at were definitely newer. These ones are probably a little bit older when we are talking about that. But you just kind of get an idea. This is kind of the most, outside of like the last neighborhood I'm going to cover, the most fluid when we're talking about housing, as compared to the, you know, just a little bit further west of here in housing. So you're not seeing like 5 regular ranch style houses and then you see like a trailer or something along those lines. This is pretty fluid in here, which might be it might be something that's super appealing to a lot of you. Let's see here. I'm just trying to make sure that we are, oh, you know what, this one's going to come out on Ronnie's. All right, so what I'm going to do is, initially I was going to go back, but I want to go down a little bit further west, so I can show you what I'm talking about, where we have a builder who comes in, and what they'll do is they'll put like 5 brand new houses on a lot that they just purchased, because over in the area that I'm going to show you next, you will see that a lot of the houses, excuse me, do have larger lots, which is nice. That is appealing to a lot of you guys. You're like, hey, I want a larger lot. I don't want to reach my hand out and be able to touch my neighbor's house. And so that might be something that's appealing to you. I will say that the builders, when they do come in, because you got one lot that used to have 1 property on it, and now you got one lot that's got, you know, like 4 or 5 properties on it. And so you won't have as much land, but still you can find some decent looking houses over in this next area I'm going to be talking about that do kind of have that, oh, look at this. So Ronnie's, for those of you who aren't familiar, that's our car wash that pretty much we have some friends who actually own car washes here, but they're more up in Pensacola, so Rodney's their main go-to. You know, I got the monthly membership fee. It's actually a pretty good car wash, so don't mean to get too much off topic. Looks like we're going to be going out on the main road right here, Navarre Parkway, which this is pretty much 98. It's turned into Navarre Parkway. It's still even labeled right here, US 98. But when we're talking about Navarre Parkway or Highway 98, it's pretty much two in the same when we are referring to those. This is just a brief glimpse of kind of the east side of Navarre. You can kind of see this. And as we dive into more of the central portion of Navarre, where you have the bridge that does go over the Navarre Bridge, it gets a little bit newer. You see some newer development happening over there, some newer retail, some newer restaurants. But you can see, I mean, this allotment of different things that they do have in here. And I will tell you, for us personally, that when we decide to go out to eat, I mean, we've got our local favorites when we're talking about Gulf Breeze area, you know, we've got our, Rio and all that stuff that we go to. But when we really want to get something different, we do come over to Navarre because they do have a better variety of restaurants, of eateries over here. Like our favorite sushi, or my favorite sushi spot, I probably mentioned this out, Chelsea and I go back and forth about this, but the Slippery Mermaid is right over here, down here on the, it's going to be on the pretty much the south side of Navarre Parkway. My favorite sushi spot to go. But you can see how this portion isn't as new, and like I said, you'll kind of see that as we drive through here. Now I think I think I'm gonna want to take a right on this road up here, because this is the neighborhood that I really wanted to show you, because this is the one that I oftentimes talk to you guys about, where you're confused. You're like, why is this? Oh, nope, this is not where I want to go. We're going to be going to the Walmart parking lot. All right, here's what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and cut this video off right here. So quick note on this is, over in Navarre, you have this, it's pretty much your, they used to call them what, super Walmarts, or, well, I don't know, whatever it is. The Walmarts where you have a grocery store, and they also have like more of your, clothing and all that stuff on one side. They have this one on the east side of Navarre, and then on the west side of Navarre, you have a neighborhood market one where it's pretty much just strictly a grocery store, and then you have like a very small section where they have some like kind of a limited selection of like clothing or like stuff that you might get at a regular style Walmart or whatever it might be. But I'm going to cut this video off right here, guys, and then I'm going to pick it back up over in this next neighborhood so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about when we are discussing the Navarre area. All right, guys, so now we are in the area that I really want to talk to you about. And actually, this is the perfect road that I wanted to go down, because it has that situation that I was telling you about where someone, it looks like they did buy a lot, built 2 brand new homes, and then now they are selling those homes, where before you had an older house there, whatever it might have been. So this is like one of them. You can probably see it right now. That one, and I guarantee someone bought up a lot, decided to put in 2 new houses, and now they are selling those. But I think it's down here on the corner. Yes, here it is. All right, so here's a perfect example right here at the stop sign, past the stop sign. I guarantee you, before, what this was a single lot that had an older home on it, and the builder bought it, and then you can see they put up 2 new homes, which are both for sale right now. And so they're selling pretty much 2 houses for the price that they purchased for 1. And this is what you see a lot in this kind of Navarre area. It's not the far east Navarre area, it's more like the central east area of Navarre. And this is kind of what you see. And I'll pull down one of these streets to see. This one's a dead end. I don't want to go down there, so I can really expose you to what I'm talking about when I am talking about, yeah, you'll have like newer house, a nice house, then you have like a random trailer in the middle of nowhere. And that's what we really see a lot of in Navarre, and we are seeing more and more. Just like, looks like we might be seeing one right here too, potentially, with this dumpster, or they're just clearing the land. I don't know if this is another situation where we are going to see that, where they're going to tear down that house. They're definitely doing some, they might be tearing that one down, putting something up. All right, so here's what we can see. This is like kind of the older houses, the older housing that we do see in Navarre. Man, those skeletons get me every time. I love those things. This right here is another situation. Someone bought these lots, or a single lot, and they put up 2 newer homes. This is super common in this area right now. Not going to see it too much in like Holly by the Sea or anything like that, because that is a huge actual development that happened over there. But the same with right here. Look at this. Someone bought up these couple lots, put in a couple new houses, and that is happening a lot in Navarre as it grows more and more, as it becomes more popular. And the second thing I wanted to mention on Navarre too is when we're talking about the Pensacola metro area, Navarre is actually the second most populous city right behind Pensacola. So it is definitely a lot more populated than a lot of these other places when we're talking about like Pace, Milton, Gulf Breeze. The population here is a lot higher than those areas right there. And it is becoming more and more popular. And as I was driving in, they're building this new structure that's right on the Sound that I will show you guys. It's kind of starting to remind me of Fort Walton Beach a little bit, you know, where you have kind of like these hotels, these kind of touristy things in place. Navarre Beach is fantastic, and currently as we sit right now during tour season, Pensacola Beach will become a lot more populated, or will get a lot busier as compared to Navarre Beach. But I don't know how long that's going to last, guys. I mean, Navarre Beach, the thing about it is it doesn't have the infrastructure when we're talking about the restaurants and stuff that Pensacola Beach does have. But I mean, the popularity that it's gaining, maybe they're going to try and keep that mainly on Navarre Parkway or Highway 98 when we are talking about kind of that touristy thing. So let's go ahead and get back to this video right now. As you can see, as we're driving through here, that's like a whole street down there right there that has the newer housing. You can see how it's just, you got blotches, right? And where you have someone that built something new because they bought a lot. But this is like an older house, an example of an older house in Navarre. Look how large that lot is. And so a builder would come in here and buy up that house, the same with this one right here, larger lots, and then they would tear that down and then put up 2 new houses. It is just super common when we're talking about this Navarre area. And I'm trying to think of, I don't want to go too far over because I don't want to go quite into that Holly by the Sea area quite yet, because we are getting near that. So let's go and drive down a few more of these streets so you guys kind of see what I'm looking at here. All right, so let's see. That's a newer home. Looks like it's on a single lot though. You got a 3-car garage. It's a nice little house. You got some sports fields over here on the left-hand side that you probably cannot see since you're looking on the opposite direction. But yeah, just these larger lots, and a lot of you are looking for that. You're just where I mentioned, where you're just like, I don't want to reach out and touch my kids or touch my neighbor's house. And, you know, I want to be able to have a little bit of land, a little room to breathe. And we do see that a lot over here in Navarre. Now this area right here I'm about to go in, it looks like this is a whole development. Let's see what we got here. This is kind of a weird spot for a stop sign, but so you can see you got some newer houses up in here, probably built in like the late 20 teens is what I'm thinking, looking at kind of the floor plans, the design. And then you got you know, these are kind of like your older style homes where you're not talking about trailers or anything like that, just the older style homes that were built. And these ones aren't even that old. These ones look like they're early 2000s right here. Just kind of looking off the floor plans and everything. Wow, I've never seen that skeleton. That was a cool one. But yeah, just super, like I said, there's definitely a good variety of all kinds of different housing over here. And when we are talking about price points, typically, and I will say this, outside of Holly by the Sea, because Holly by the Sea is very similar to like Tiger Point price points. Actually, you know, I'd say Holly by the Sea is a little bit less than the Tiger Point area over in Gulf Breeze. But you are going to get more bang for your buck when we are talking about Navarre. Now, it's not going to be Milton prices. Milton is definitely going to be one of the cheaper ones that we do talk about. But you will get more bang for your buck over here compared to somewhere like Gulf Breeze. And that's something that is super appealing, because a lot of you are like, you know what, I want this size house, 3,000 square foot, but I really don't want to pay $800,000 for it. And so you can find that over in Navarre, which is super awesome. All right, I think I exposed you guys to this area enough. Now we're going to go to more of the newer portion of Navarre when we are talking closer to like Holly by the Sea, maybe a few of the neighborhoods that are right on the Sound. That way we can catch some eyes on this, but I really want you guys to see this, because this is the main topic that we talk about when you guys do ask about Navarre, when we send you over those house searches, and you're like, why is this is so weird how there's these newer houses, and I look at the Google Maps or something like that, and right next to it's a trailer. This is a big reason why, and that's why I want to expose you to this area. So what I'm going to do next is I'm either going to choose Holly by the Sea, or maybe I'll choose a neighborhood that's right on the Sound so you can kind of catch some eyes on that. And then we'll expose you to a few more. That way we can hurry up and dive into the map video, and I could kind of show you some different attributes, some different price points when we are talking about living in Navarre. All right, guys, I wanted to pop in here real quick on our way to the next neighborhood. So this is that newer commercial development that I was telling you about. This is like kind of the hub of where it's all kind of happening. So you see like Chipotle over here, you see ABC Liquor right here, Buffalo Wild Wings, Wendy's, all this stuff. This is kind of like the newer commercial area right here. like B-dubs. I mean, it's, you know, whatever, big franchise, whatever. But actually, that's a fantastic B-dubs. We love going there for the games and stuff. But you can see this is kind of the newer part of Navarre. And it's because, you know, the beach, to go over to the beach is just right here. And so they're really kind of hyping this area up quite a bit. But I really want to catch your guys' eyes on this, just to see how much newer it looks over here as opposed to when we're talking about, like, I mean, proper, you know, they do a great job of keeping that Publix area right around there all nice and upkept and kind of newer looking. But this is just nice how they have some newer commercial development over here. That way to kind of give the Navarre a little bit of a facelift. Let's see, we still got about a mile. All right, I'll pop back on because we still have about a mile and a half to go before we get over to the next neighborhood, which is going to be North Shores. That way I can kind of show you a neighborhood that's on the Sound. That way I'm sure you guys really want to see that one. All right, so now we're in this other neighborhood. This is going to be one that's on the Sound side, so the south side of 98. This is like Martha's Cove, North Shores area right here. Just so I could kind of expose you to what it's going to look like living on the south side of 98 as compared to the north side. You can see, I mean, there's some nice houses in here. Of course, you know, you're on the south side of 98. Typically, when you're on the south side, closer to the water, you potentially do see a little bit nicer of a home. Looks like they're getting ready to do some development here. I wonder what's going to be happening in there. But yeah, I just really want to expose you to what the Sound side. Now, you're not going to have as many Sound side developments or houses as you would over in, like, down the highway, Gulf Breeze, or even, you know, Gulf Breeze proper. There's just not too many in Navarre, and they're kind of scattered throughout on the south side of 98, whereas over like Target Point, Oriole Beach, those are huge Sound side areas right there, that a lot of people, that's why they love that area so much, is there's just so many houses all up in there. But you can see these houses right here, they're going to be right on the Sound. Most of them will most likely have a dock, a pier that goes out to the water. Oh, someone's walking their dogs and their kid. Yeah, you can see so these ones are all going to be on the water, guys. So you can kind of see, compare a little bit to this compared to like when we're talking about Gulf Breeze a little bit, what these houses are going to look like on the Sound side right on the water. And I'm going to tell you, like, right off the bat, these things definitely aren't as glamorous as like what we saw over in Madeira, over in the Tiger Point area and stuff like that. So it's kind of nice. You still have that property that's on the water, but you're not going to be paying those millions of dollars. These ones are definitely going to be a lot higher than as compared to like maybe some that we're looking over on the north side of 98. But really want to expose you to these. Some nice little houses in here. You can see, looks like that one's getting remodeled or rebuilt. Yeah, nice little area over here for sure. And then let's see, I looked up, so the average sales price in this area is $570, and I guarantee the big thing that's bringing that number up, and that's going to be the average sales price for 2024 from January to today's August 29th or something like that. The average sale price was $570, and I believe when I looked that number up, one of them was like 9 something, and there was only a few sales in this area. That one's definitely driving that number up. You can easily get, like, I think there's a house that we posted that was for sale that was in the 4s. You can find something in the 4s when we are talking about this area, but real clean looking in here. See, are we in a cul-de-sac right here? So we'll drive around the cul-de-sac so you can kind of see us a little bit. Some nice little properties in here, you know. Oh, look at that, which that's pretty cool. All right, cool. So now what we're going to do is we are going to jump back onto the north side of 98, and I'm really going to expose you to that Holly by the Sea area, because that is heavily desirable. That takes up the majority of West Navarre when we are talking about neighborhoods, when we are talking about houses. And the majority of you guys that we do help out, that's where you pick. That's the hot spot where you want to be. So let's go ahead and hop over into Holly by the Sea. We'll cut this off right now, and I'll come right back. All right, we just drove into one of the main entrances for Holly by the Sea. And like I said, this is one of the neighborhoods that you guys always ask us about, that we've had many of you move into. And so I think it's why it's so important to make sure that we do catch eyes onto this. Now, there is going to be a golf course pretty much in the center portion of this neighborhood. And this is kind of the older portion. Quick note on this, and I'm going to show you this on the map as well too, is they are still building newer homes in here. They're, you know, few and far in between, but they are still building some newer houses in here. But just, I want to catch your eyes on, this is the area that you guys are really asking about. When we're talking about more the west side, that's going to be your newer portion of Holly by the Sea. Let's try and make our way over there so you can kind of catch eyes on those houses over there. But you can see this isn't going to be something to where you do see the random trailer, you know, in the middle of 5 houses or whatever it might be. These ones are all built around the same time. The developer came in here, built all these houses. Ooh, looks like someone did something nice with that one. That was pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, that's why I really want to expose you guys to this area. Looks like they're redoing a couple roads in here. That's awesome. Always good to see. I don't think I'm ever going to get used to the red sand. Where I came from, it was always brown dirt. I was never used to red sand, so when I see them redoing the roads, it still always catches my eyes. But yeah, so let's just go ahead and drive through here. That way you guys can catch eyes on a few of these houses. And then we'll make our way down to kind of the newer portion of Holly by the Sea. Which honestly, that newer portion of Holly by the Sea is the area that you guys really do enjoy, because that's where you do have kind of your larger floor plans over there, right? So that's what you're really looking for, something that's newer, larger floor plan, just kind of those really expanded or open floor plan ranch style homes. Some of them have 3-car garages. You're like, yes, I love this. This is what I'm looking for, something newer, something more open, something with more square footage. And so let's kind of try and make our way over there a little bit. All right, so now we're getting closer to the golf course. So you can see how the type of home is changing a little bit. Nothing dramatic, you know, but it is going to be changing a little bit as we get closer to the golf course over here. All right, now we are really in that kind of that golf course area right here. You can see how much more these houses have changed, how they are definitely newer. The yards are definitely looks a little bit more well maintained. Oh, it looks like that one's for sale at the pool. Cool. But yeah, this is kind of really that golf course area right in and around here. And you'll see as we get closer to the golf course, the houses kind of start to get a little bit bigger, a little bit nicer, that are, you know, right on that golf course. But nice little neighborhood in here. Also a portion of Holly by the Sea. This, I'm telling you, this Holly by the Sea area is huge. They even have their own HOA like designated area across on the Soundside, where they have a little community center in there. They've got some couple parks. They got some fields, some stuff. So, and that's exclusive to this Holly by the Sea area. You actually need like a key card or whatever in order to get in there. But yeah, you can see these houses definitely change quite a bit when we are getting closer to this golf course. A lot of different attributes to these houses. A couple 2-story. I mean, majority of them are you going to see are going to be more of your ranch style. But it's definitely just a different vibe around here. Newer style of house. Bigger houses for sure. Got the paved driveway. That's nice. And these houses across the way. So you're looking at the houses. If we go across the street from the houses you're looking at right now, those houses are right on the golf course. So what I'll do is I'll probably flip around over here. The clubhouse should be up here somewhere. Just do a quick flip and then I'll turn around and I'll show you the houses that are right on the golf course. Very similar in style, very similar in age and everything else. Probably built around the same time as the ones that you're currently looking at right now. But then you'll be able to kind of peek through the back of it and see the Hidden Creek golf course that we've got over here. Just a super cool little community though, for sure. I'm actually surprised that we haven't seen any golf carts rolling in and through around here. As you can see, it's still political season down here. The Navarre area is definitely heavily military, which is amazing. As a veteran, I love seeing that. That's one big driver for us when we did decide to move into this Pensacola metro area. Huge military presence over here, though. We actually have a buddy who he works for the Navarre school system, and he just says everyone is just like pro-military, military families, just all the kids that go into there. So super cool if that's the type of setting that you want to be into. You're definitely going to find it here in Navarre. All right, so now we're coming up. I think coming up on the back end of the driving range. What I'll do is I'll flip around up here. That way you can kind of catch eyes on both the clubhouse area and then also these houses that back to the golf course. So you can really get exposed to those a little bit. But these are some nice houses. Why don't you guys comment down below, let me know your thoughts. While I am doing this flip around, if you guys are enjoying this channel and you do plan on purchasing real estate in the Emerald Coast, make sure you give us a call or text at that phone number right below. Right below it there, we always answer. It doesn't matter day or time, but if you're not quite ready to purchase, just want to educate yourself on all the latest stuff coming into the Emerald Coast, why don't you do yourself a huge favor and smash that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, notification bell, that way you're notified every single time they put out a brand new video. All right, so we're going to go into here and just flip around. You can see right there, look at the Hidden Creek golf course sign right there. The club at Hidden Creek. Nice looking little club. You see there's the driving range right there. But we're going to go ahead and flip. Actually, you know what? I was going to do that, but I think majority of the houses that you saw down there are all very similar. I think I'm going to go down here because we have some different style of housing down here, so you can catch eyes on that area over here. Your price point when we are talking about this west side of the golf course in certain areas is definitely going to be a little bit higher. I mean, we're talking multi-million-dollar houses, you know, that do back to the golf course. Just awesome, super awesome houses. So you can see we got a lot of nature preserve over here that you're looking at right now. But yeah, let's see. So the houses that I was talking about are down there, but I know there's some on the back end over here as well. Let's try and catch this back end because that street was a dead end. You can see we're kind of driving through the golf course right now. I'm trying to think of the streets. I've been on the streets so many times, but I get mixed up. There's a lot of these different turn downs they could take. That I'm really wanting to show you guys. Okay, so you see the incorporate sign right there. So Navarre technically is not an incorporated city. It is an unincorporated area. So that's why you kind of saw that sign right there. Man, there's a few for sale in here. What's going on here? Got a pods moving in storage. I don't see a for sale sign, so that one must be going up soon here. Got the palm trees over here. Gotta love the palm trees. Nothing brings happiness like palm trees in your front yard, unless you gotta pay to get them trimmed. Then it can get a little pricey. Okay, so I'm hoping that's a nice little house right there. I'm hoping this is the street that I know it was pretty much like a big oval or big U. I think this is the street that I wanted to show you guys. So we're gonna go into here because there's some nice houses up in here. It's just one single street that kind of whips all the way around. I think they're closer to the end of the street. Hopefully this street isn't going to make me a liar. Like I said, I know it's in here and I'm pretty sure this is it. Yeah, you see there's definitely some nice little ranch style houses in here. Like I said, I know there's this one street that just has amazing houses. Hoping this is it. Oh, there's a golf cart. I know it's gonna see one eventually. There's the golf course right there, and you can see all these houses. You know what? I don't think this is gonna be the road. There are some awesome houses. Ooh, that one's a really nice house right across the way. But you can see there's some nice little houses up in here. So some people have done some custom jobs on the exterior to kind of bring a little bit more stucco and wood trim look into it. The only thing I don't like about this area, and I've noticed it many times, is it seems like the roads are a little narrow compared to what we're used to. Outside of that, yeah, it looks like there's a house getting built over here, and so there's just a lot of contractors that are on the street. Outside of that great little neighborhood, newer neighborhood, most of these are probably built in like the 20-teens area, maybe even breaking into the late 2000s a little bit. And I mean, guys, it could take, oh, hold on, I'm gonna shut up for a second here, because look at this. That house is fantastic. Oh man, look at that. That is a nice house right there. I'm gonna have to flip right here so you guys can see it. That is, oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Nice house. It would, I mean, like, so there's so many in and out streets here, guys. It literally, this would be a 5-hour video if we were gonna try and go down even just half of them. This is a super large area. More than anything, I just wanted to catch your eyes on it so you could really be exposed to this Holly by the Sea area, because so many of you who did move down here and choose Navarre, this is where you're wanting to move to. Alright guys, I think that is going to be the extent of our drive-through video. So now what we're going to do is I am going to get back in front of the computer, and we are going to be doing a video, a map video, and I'm just going to plug in a few different attributes like newer housing, price points, and stuff like that, and really show the areas that we're going to be looking at, because you might be it's interesting to kind of see that. I love playing around in the MLS a little bit to see, hey, where are the newer houses in this area? Where are these price points in this area? So we're going to play around with that a little bit and see what you guys think about that. In the meantime, like I said, I'm going to drive back. Hopefully you enjoyed this, and I will see you here soon. Alright, cool guys, we are back in office. I'm going to bring you in on this map and kind of show you a few interesting things. We're going to dive into like some price points, some ages of houses, and there's a few other things that I did want to point out, so make sure you do watch. I'm kind of comparing Navarre over into the Gulf Breeze area. Alright, so let's go and dive on this map right now. So as you can see, I have this set up just as your basic, just active properties over in Navarre. I don't have any price points set up. I don't have any bedrooms set up. I don't have any age of houses, year built set up. And just looking at this, according to our numbers, there are 133 active listings within Navarre currently. And if we look on the map, we could see this kind of shows where all these properties are located at. And just a quick rundown on this. So when we are looking into Navarre, when we talk about Holly by the Sea, this is going to be this western portion of Navarre right over here, and when we're talking about that. The other area that I talked about yesterday was when we're talking about those areas where you have a lot of older homes mixed in with a few trailers and such. That is going to be this area right here, where you do see a few properties that are a little bit newer in and around this area right here. And then that other area, the first area that we kind of covered, was more over here a little bit more, you know, more on that eastern side of Navarre. So let's go ahead and have some fun with this. Let's play around with some numbers. So if we just go in, let's just say you're looking for a newer house, not technically something that's brand new, but something that's newer. So let's put in a minimum number of a house built in 2010. So that means it will not show us any other properties that were built prior to 2010. And we show right here, it's showing us 54 properties. All right, cool. So let's go and see where these properties are going to be located. So it doesn't look much different after doing this. You're like, all right, cool. So it looks like it's still pretty spread out through Navarre, you know, 2010 up all the way to 2024. You can see it's still pretty spread out. So if you want a house, you know, that's within, you know, the last 10 to 15 years built, this looks pretty good to us. And then if we zoom in even more, we can it starts to show us these price points. So you can see how, you know, 5's up here, 4's almost 6, 350, 448. So you kind of get an idea that even if we do that, I'm going to zoom in right here too, so you can kind of see. So these ones, I mean, might go down a little bit more, 375, 495, 400, 349, 450, and then if we go even further out, this hideaway retreat's actually, actually I should have done a drive-through through this area right here. This is just like kind of like a one-off neighborhood. They have their own little like community pool and such. Let's see, so this one's going for, so 334, 999, so 335 pretty much. So we can kind of see that when we're doing that age of house, it's still pretty spread out, right? Now let's do something different though. Since we're talking about the age of a house, let's dive in and let's do something. If you are looking for something that is brand spanking new, and I'm going to do brand spanking new, I'll pretty much do built from 2023 till today. So we'll do 2023. Let's see how many we got. So we got 22 properties. Where are these located at? Because a lot of you want that newer product, right? You're looking for that newer type of house. If we dive into this, all right, look at that. It's still not that bad. The biggest change that I'm seeing, so it looks like even a few of our houses that when we did the 2020 or 2010 and newer are still kind of on this. But look at this. If you guys are looking for a newer product, it is going to be a little bit more scattered. So this is all your Holly by the Sea area. You got a few products in here that are newer. You got 2 here, 2 here. So that's some good numbers right there. That's nice to see, you guys, that we are seeing some newer products. This one, I believe I drove by this one. I can't remember, but this one was kind of over in that Soundside area that we were looking at. But you can see, like when we're talking about even those newer products, now they do lessen out over here. So it shows us that I'm actually surprised. Those 1-2 properties, I don't remember if you guys remember when I was talking about how it was that large corner lot that was taken out and had built 2 properties that had for sale signs up. Those might be under contract, and that might be why they're not showing, because I am not seeing anything in here right now. So they might be either under contract or just recently sold. So let's do something else that's kind of fun in here though. Let's remove this number right here. And because a lot of you are coming in, you're like, you don't want to be over Navarre because of the price point. This is kind of what I'm spending. So let's just do like a 350 price point and see what kind of results that returns for us when we're talking about Navarre. We do that. Okay, so it brings back 24 properties. Let's go to this map search, and you can see like Holly by the Sea that completely eliminates you from this Holly by the Sea area, except for this probably townhouses that are. Oh no, okay, so that's the mobile home trailer. That's why that one's located in that. But you can see how this Holly by the Sea area really gets eliminated from that. Where more of this eastern portion of Navarre, you can see that there are properties available when we are looking at those price points. But again, like these ones that are going for 200, most likely it's going to be a trailer. What's this one right here? That's 343. This one, you know, it's a nice house. It's got a pool and everything for 343. That's actually a pretty good deal right there. Let's look at this one that's 280. That one's going for 280. So that's regular, you know, just regular home, two-car garage. That's nice right there. So even if we have that price point where you're like, hey, I really don't want to spend more than $350, you do have some houses that are available over in Navarre. Now here's what I wanted to do when we are comparing this area kind of more to the Gulf Breeze, because if we could back out of here a little bit, Gulf Breeze, and then this is down the highway, still unincorporated Gulf Breeze in this area right here. One thing that I was mentioning to you yesterday though is if we look on the south side of 98, so this is 98, that Navarre Parkway that I was talking about in the video, look at the limited amount of housing that we got right here. So you can see there's not too many roads with houses in here, where if we break down a little bit, so this is your midway point, so this is like all your Soundside area right here. But then if we go over to Tiger Point, look how many more houses are on the Soundside as compared to Navarre. You don't have that slim sliver of space on the south side of 98 as you do over Navarre, and that's something I really want to talk about. And then even if we go over into Gulf Breeze, you know, this one, since you don't have a north-south on the 98 or whatever, this is all going to be, you know, the bay, and then you pretty much got the entryway into the Soundside or the waterway right here. This is all your proper, now that I got shown this map, we're talking about Gulf Breeze proper. You can see how much smaller of a landmass it is as compared to when we're talking down the highway. This whole unincorporated portion of Gulf Breeze, all the way going down to I believe the boundary is like right around here somewhere, because then you start breaking into Navarre right here. But that's something that I really want to show. Just for shits and giggles, I know you guys are looking more into the Navarre area because of this video. Let's just do a some quick numbers for Gulf Breeze. So let's just type in Gulf Breeze here. Let's see, there we go. And then let's do something very similar. Let's do year built, minimum year of 2010. And let's see what kind of results we got. So we only got 5. Look at that. So with that, hold on, let me see. There's a question I got about this first. No, so it's kind of all in this area. And so this, when you look over here, the new high school is getting built. Let's see, I'm trying to judge on this map. So across from the zoo, the new high school is going in right over here. And I know they're building some like row home townhouse style development. I believe it's on the front side right over here. But you can see that, I mean, you got some newer housing over here, but not as, okay, that can't be right. 2010, yeah, I mean, potentially. Okay. And then, you know, mobile home, whatever, but not as many as when we type that in, talking about the Navarre area. So that is interesting to see that when looking at that, there's not as many new products over here. At least, let me make sure I didn't have something in here too. Oh, I did. Okay, that was my fault. I forgot to remove this $350,000. Now it should return. There we go, 67. Okay, so what was the last one? I think the last one was 55 or something right around there. Map search. I was gonna say I could have sworn there was a little bit more. So you could see how you got way more products. This is we call it Soundside over here, your Midway Woodlawn Beach area right here. You have a few new developments that are happening up in here. Let's look at a few of these price points when we're talking about it though. So of course, when you get close to the water, that's when you get these higher price points. These ones are, you know, this one's gonna be right on the water right here. This one will be back a little bit. And then, so Tiger Point pretty much stops right here. And then this is all what we call Soundside area. You can see how 410, 490, 660, this one I believe is, yep, so it's in that one area. And then let's kind of take this down. So same with over here, Oriole Beach. That's actually the one that I did the house tour on. It's been on the market for a while. What's this one right here? That one, so a newer house. We actually, Chelsea and I, believe it or not, when we were first looking into purchasing here, we were looking at purchasing in this little neighborhood right here. It's kind of weird, it's this one little stretch. And his house on the end was literally for sale for like $350, and now it's worth way more. Only 2 years later, we're like, why didn't we jump on that one right there? So let's kind of hop over. Let me eliminate this. Let's hop over and do proper a little bit and look at that. So the only new products you're going to see over in proper are something that maybe was like custom built. That's it. Outside of that, anything that is newer than 2010, not happening over in proper. And so that's why we see a lot of these houses happening more in the Tiger Point, Oriole Beach area. But it's kind of cool looking at a few of these things. Like I said, that new high school is going to be going in right here. So you are probably going to see a lot more development in and throughout here. Let's see what's this one right here. So yeah, exactly. A lot of these newer products with that new high school coming in, you know, they're probably planning on some more houses coming in and around here. So I just wanted to really kind of touch on that a little bit, kind of compare Navarre to Gulf Breeze, because those are, when you guys come here and you're comparing between those two areas, those are the two main ones that you really do talk about. So thank you so much, guys. This is a longer video. I appreciate you sticking around this long. I greatly appreciate it. If you are looking at purchasing real estate here in the Emerald Coast, give us a call or text at that phone number right below. Right below it there, we always answer, doesn't matter day or time, but if you're not quite ready to purchase, make sure you do yourself a favor to follow along by smashing that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, notification bell, that way you're notified every single time that we put out a brand new video. Till next time, we love ya. Bye.